A lot of good skateboarders, you know. You think you can make a living skateboarding?
All right, another episode of BS with TG, starring Eric Dressen. Woo! We'll dub in a bunch of clapping and like crazy sounds and shit. I'm just happen to be rolling through town, and fucking Eric made time for my stupid ass to come and.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, come and
Honored
grill you.
to be on your show.
It's fun, so I'm stoked to be able to catch up with you and shoot the shit.
I'm nervous. I'm sorry.
So I'm gonna go way. We're gonna go way fucking back because. I remember seeing the picture of you in Skateboarder.
Yeah.
In what year was that?
That's 77.
77.
Just turned 10. Just got on Logan Erskine. Laura Thornhill kind of discovered me skating in this backyard pool in Torrance. And she got me on Logan team, and then from there, like 2 days later, I'm shooting my Who's Hot. And that was my dream. That's all I wanted in life. Was like,
oh yeah,
to be on Logan and get a Who's Hot. It was gnarly.
So I seen that photo, and I was a little kid, so I was like, wow, just blown away that you were tiny.
Yeah.
And you were in Skateboarder. That was.
It was a dream. That was
our Bible.
Yeah. I was living in Torrance, and we moved up here, me and my dad, and then about a year later, and I got on the original Alva team, like when Alva first started Alva Skates, when he was huge. Was that? Probably summer of '78, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so you were on Alva in '78, and what did that entail? Like, did you go to contests with those guys and go around? Or?
No, they weren't very team oriented.
Yeah.
I made a phone call and hoped they remembered me, And like I went skating with Alva a few times. I just always skate Marina Skate Park and stuff, and then I'd go. My dad would take me in contests. When I was a kid, just looking at those magazines and just wishing that I could be there and skate with them or even know them. So it's surreal to me still to this day.
Right?
Like, yeah.
How crazy is it? Like you were looking and just dreaming about this, skateboarding and being whatever professional. Did you ever think about being a professional?
That's
skater?
all I wanted. It was like when I was probably in third grade. That's all I wanted to be a pro skateboarder. I pretty much had in my head set that that's what I wanted to do.
You were like out of everyone, our generation. We're from that same generation, growing up in the '80s and seeing everything, the explosion and stuff. But you've been in mags for almost 40 years, right?
Oh, yeah, 40, yeah.
Which is crazy.
I've been through the clay wheels to now.
Yeah. When did you reach that next level of being properly sponsored amateur? Who was your proper sponsor after Alva?
That was probably 81. All the parks closed
Everything
down.
Closed, yeah.
And then I was such a little kid back then and shy. I never had phone numbers of people and stuff. So skating kind of died, and I kind of tried surfing. I tried riding road bikes, like bicycles.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I got sent to continuation school with all the stoner kids, and they all were skating. And then I'd go smoke weed after. My friend had a quarter pipe. And I kept borrowing the board, so I went on my 18th birthday and bought a board at Rip City. I had a little job working at a deli, so I got an Alva board, and then my friend's like, oh, there's a half pipe, and we went, and Alva was there, and this is right when they started casting for thrashing, and then I went there, and that's when I met Nodis and Jesse and all the boys, and that's when I started going down to Venice. Jump ramping and shit.
Oh, that's crazy. So that just was the door that opened up everything.
And that's when street skating. I remember Scott Officer, I bumped into him. I just met him. He's like, oh, I'm going to a street contest. I was like, what's a street contest? And he's like, oh, there's a picnic table and a piece of wood and a parking block.
Yeah, definitely.
My friend, I was friends with Scott Oster and Kelly Jackson, Murray, and they like Jim was taking me to all the contests, and I kind of just wanted to be a part of them. So Jim put me on Dogtown,
right?
And then we did some amateur contests, and then we just decided to go pro. And from there, we took we were out to beat the Bones Brigade.
So, but you were, I mean, I'm sure you were the reason why you turned pro because you're winning fucking contests. Like winning amateur contests and stuff, or placing.
Back then, I
really
entered
well,
like a couple of pro contests when I was a little kid. I was actually getting paid when I was 10 too. Like
really?
Excalibur Trucks paid me like $300 a month to wear Excalibur trucks.
No fucking
shit,
way.
they paid me killer, and then like $100 if I won like a contest. So like Skateboard World in Torrance had a contest all summer, like every Friday night.
Yeah.
So I won like every Friday for like the summer. I was killing. I paid for like a broken arm. I paid for like a swing scrambler.
Oh man, at a super young age, your dad's probably tripping like, what? You were at a very young age. You were already doing it. You're basically kind of pro.
Yeah.
I mean, because you were being paid to skate. And you're in the mags, entering contests and everything. And then the 80s came, everything fucking died.
Yeah, just like one day I woke up and everything was gone, you know, and like it was nuts. It was really, I went through I was really bummed for a long time until I got back on the skating.
So all the parks close, and then you start skating again. You get back into it, and it's just street skating, right? Because there's no parks.
There's no parks, but then everyone was going down the beach and skating jump ramps like Jesse. So I go meet them down there, and they're all doing hand plants and like judo airs off and shit. And then occasional pool, you know, empty pools around there, occasional mini ramp.
So that was like 80s, right?
Probably
like
86, probably.
86?
85, 86.
And then you turned pro for Dogtown what year?
I'm not sure, probably 86. I went to Oceanside and Jim put me in the pro contest.
Yeah.
I think I got 12th.
You were killing. So what happened like in the late 80s? You were skating after Dogtown. When did you leave Dogtown?
I left in 88, like Santa Cruz.
Right.
Was making me like really good offers, and Dogtown was kind of like shaky at the time, so I went to ride for Santa Cruz and rode for them for like 3 or 4 years until they let me go. But I don't blame them at all.
And now
I've been back on Santa Cruz for the last 12 years.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah, about 2004 I got back on.
What did you do when you left Santa Cruz?
Well, right then, I think I was skating, but I blew my knee out like a few days later. Just folded my knee like on a handrail in Century City, and I didn't know anything about blowing out knees. I thought it'd heal.
Yeah.
So I sat in bed for about 6 months thinking I was gonna get better, living off my savings and shit. And then I got my knee surgery, and then I kind of just bummed around, worked in skate shops and stuff, and always skated and stuff. But then after I think the Dogtown Z-Boy documentary came out, and then old school skating came back, and I kind of helped revive my career and stuff.
And so during that time after NHS, you were just hand to mouth, just trying to make it work.
Yeah,
right?
I worked
trying to
in
figure
skate shops and stuff and that, and then I eventually like started working in tattoo shops, like being a helper.
Yeah.
And I was like, setting up and dealing with the customers and all that, and I kind of picked up on things, and I eventually like apprenticed under my friend Guerrero, he's a Japanese tattooer in Little Tokyo, and I learned how to tattoo. It took a little while, but then I started tattooing, so I've been tattooing like 12 years.
I didn't know you as someone who was an illustrator or
I didn't know how to
artist.
really draw, but I always knew what I liked and art and stuff. And then because my dad was like a fine art silk screener, so I grew up around artists but I didn't know how to draw. But like while I was apprenticing, I learned the tricks of the trade and learned how to train my hand tracing and stuff. And then eventually,
I can't draw stick figures, so I
painted myself into a corner as an artist, literally. But it's fun. It's been really good.
It seems like it's done some good things for you. Like you traveled to Japan quite a bit.
I've been to Japan the last 3-4 years in a row.
Yeah.
Like every time I'm there, you're there. Yeah. It took a while before I was like really confident and would go out and working on the floor and shit.
Yeah, I would imagine. Did you practice like on oranges or any of that
no,
stuff?
I just practiced on my punk rock friends. Like Carson Pete, and then he'd bring his friend 20 who was blind, and like I'd tattoo on 20.
Shit, seriously?
Yeah, I'd practice every Monday on him. He's like a
use your notepad.
Come over every Monday. What do you want?
Pad.
Just practice on him for a while because I wanted to get really good until I worked on the floor.
Wow, is it Is it like a job? Or?
Not anymore. It was for 10 years.
Yeah.
I working in shops 10-hour days, 6 days a week. But then after I came back from my first trip in Japan, I was just like, I don't know, I wanted to just like more travel and not be set. And then I think I went skateboarding one day with my friend, and it was like middle of the day, and I was like, whoa, like.
I remember this.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Yeah, so lately I've just been trying to skate more than anything. I just want to skate. So I just tattoo on special occasions or if I go out of town.
So, all right. So, okay, what are you doing now then?
Just
Like,
skateboarding
right now?
mainly, skating, and then like doing art and design. Like I'm part of like do a lot of stuff for Independent and Santa Cruz and for Crew clothing.
Oh, cool. All right,
Yeah.
like actual design.
Yeah,
design
all
shit.
the t-shirts and stuff.
Do you? Are you sitting at a computer these days?
I don't know how that's the
Photoshop,
thing. I
Illustrator,
don't
and
know
that shit?
anything. It's just pen and pencil.
Rad. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I couldn't work in the art department. I don't know how to do Photoshop.
Good. Don't.
I
bother
send
with it,
everything.
man.
I was like, I just learned how to scan like 2 years ago. I had to scan shit and send it to them.
At least
Yeah.
you got that part down,
Yeah.
you know. Mark, it took a long time to get him
Really?
to get scans.
I remember he sent faxes. Huh?
Faxes all the time, and then boxes of just like napkins, or I mean, literally like
Oh, I think that's
Just-
great.
the box itself. I made graphics out of, you know. So I mean,
And I've
it's,
heard stories about Kirk
Yeah.
and all that stuff getting done. I think that's
yeah,
awesome.
however it needed to be. So now you're just fucking your back, living the fucking dream,
Yeah,
right?
it's a wrap, man.
Part 2.
It's nuts. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, it's so rad.
Yeah, I just love skateboarding so much, and like my new thing is like really watching like what people do, like skating. Like I went to the combi contest and I just sat and watched it, how the guy grinded and watching Lance and how he did it, and like the real technical side and style side of it. That's like my new favorite shit.
Who's one of your favorite skaters now? Like,
Well, Abe's like my favorite skateboarder.
yeah.
He's gnarly. And then, you know, Jason, Jesse, and Lance, and Arto. And,
What about amateur? Who's like some dude who
like
just,
Robbie and Ronnie,
Yeah.
the San Pedro boys.
yeah.
I love those guys. And there's this kid Carl in Sweden. He's a badass. I watch him on Instagram.
Yeah.
See him grow up and like rip. And I don't even know the guy, but I like fan out. He does everything the way like I wish I could do it. You know?
Yeah, dude, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Do you keep up with skating? Like, do you?
That's the thing that's fucking me up right now is Instagram is like everything's right there. So
Totally.
I know like who's doing what, and it gets me all fired up, and I just want to go skate.
Yeah.
And that's what I think is really what really inspires me and gets me is like Instagram. Oh, who posted this sick picture? And it's like I want to go skate.
It's
Yeah.
it's because now it's like a magazine.
Yeah,
really.
totally.
I mean, if you follow the right people, right? Do you watch like any of the new videos or any of that stuff?
A little bit. I go to every premiere downtown LA.
Yeah.
And stuff, but I don't own any videos.
Own any
Or
videos too, which is
DVDs,
funny.
yeah.
It's like that's how old
Well, I'll
we
go back
are.
and
It's
look.
like
I watch a lot of shit on YouTube. Like I'll fan out. That's what I do. I fan out for a week. Like I'll fan out for Ave for a week. So I go everything on YouTube but Ave, and then like a couple weeks ago I was fan out on Sean Pablo. So
Yeah.
I watch everything on YouTube about Sean Pablo because I think he's a rad kid. You know, he reminds me of the old days of skating in your neighborhood and ripping it up and. Like, and then next week it'll be like somebody else. Yeah.
so you're just still a skate nerd.
Yeah, super.
What about Julian? When did the first time you met him?
Oh, what happened? Because you know Julian lived 6 months in Santa Monica or in Venice and 6 months in Frisco. I think like Mirror and they would talk about him, and then he finally came the 6 months to do his 6 months down in Venice.
Yeah.
I met him, and then he'd always skate around Venice. But the funny thing with Julian, he'd always talk about you, Jake, and like Arco and stuff, and he'd be, oh, Tommy's doing this trick, and we'd go show like some, and like I remember he came back one time. He's like Chinese ollies off the crack. It was so big. It was so rad.
That's so funny.
And then he always talked about Jake and like, oh, Jake skates. All he does is skate. And like I'd never been to Frisco before, and we pull into Frisco, and here comes Jake coming down the hill. And you know, and
Yeah.
he just looked at us and just kept going. That was like the raddest thing ever. But it was Julian was a big inspiration, big
Yeah.
part of my street skating because he always was coming up with new things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, Julian, he was another cat who was kind of ahead of the game.
Super ahead, like
Yeah.
on shapes and wheelbases and all kinds. Every time I saw him, he had something new.
Yeah.
You know, him and Nadas would be doing. I don't think I was as innovative as everyone else, but
I wasn't either.
But like Julian would go, "Oh, I'll do this," and then I'd do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Julian, they were on a different.
Yeah, I consider myself more of a park skater, pool skater, mini ramp guy.
Pieces,
I just couldn't
all
do
that shit.
freestyle. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like even when I was a little kid, like I couldn't do freestyle. I still can't do a handstand.
That's nothing to lament, dude. Don't worry about it.
But I just equate like kickflips with freestyle and all that.
Oh, yeah,
so
totally.
It's like that's why I never did them in the runs, and now it's so commonplace.
Can you do kickflips?
Probably I can. Oh, I probably could. My knee had the sharp pain, so I couldn't really ollie on flat ground. I think it went away. I was like, today I was going to test it out.
So how long? Yeah, that's right. You were telling me that you were suffering from.
Yeah, because I've had 2 knee I've blown both my knees out.
Yeah.
Like 94, 2000, or 6, and had 2 ACL replacements, and was having knee problems and stuff, and then been seeing like Lawrence Bowser, Hossoi's chiropractor, and he's got me all aligned and gave me my life back.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I was having a hard. I could barely walk up the stairs. Yeah, so now I'm been like pain-free somewhat.
That's great. And so that's probably another reason why you're just so stoked on skating, because you're not completely in tons of pain every time you fucking go skate.
Yeah, just everything in my whole body was just out of alignment, and I didn't know any better. You know, I didn't know joints could lock up and you could just unlock them ever so easy.
Yeah, like give me the dude's number.
I
Like
will,
I'm
for sure.
like, yo.
Time takes its toll. It's nuts.
Skateboarding is hard on the body. Street skating is really hard,
Really hard.
on the body. Like, what's going on nowadays?
I don't know how these guys even do it.
I have no idea.
There's going to be a lot crippled. A lot of crippled.
I mean, there's a couple I can think of, one specifically, but who's this guy? I'm just like, oh.
Because like
man.
it really is taking a toll on my knees, and
Yeah.
like the last few years, like just getting through the day has been kind of hard. But I just want to skate, and I just keep wanting to wake up and thinking it was all a bad dream. I'm still young and shit.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, fuck.
That's why, like right now, I just turned 49. I
Yeah.
just want to skate, you know. So that's why I'm kind of skating as much as I can now, just because I know I'm like gonna be 60. Like, you know, like time flies now. So
Yeah.
I want to be 24 again, super bad.
Dude, well, you know, what's come down is like all of the new technology, medical technology happening. That they're just we're just missing out on the generation, man. That's gonna be like, oh, your knee hurts. Here, we'll just put a new one on.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, man. You just do what you got to do to keep it fucking going. You know. Well, hopefully we'll be having this conversation about skating in 10 more years.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna be a dumbass. I'm gonna be skating all my life.
Well, yeah.
It's sick. I'm going skating after this. It's old man night Wednesday night at Santa Monica Skate Park.
Oh, I've been by there once, and I'm just like, I'm not skating this fucking
That's my
thing.
shit,
I will
yeah.
get served. Are you gonna go there now?
Probably right after we're done here.
All right.
I love you, Tommy.
Dude, thanks,
You
Eric.
know, like such a big fan, dude. Like, all right.